Alright, so here we got a 2015 KTM 500 EXCF, and we got a no start issue. And so I did a quick check, pulled the cap, put a spark tester on there, got spark. Still, that's just a quick check for spark because could be a bad spark plug. So then I took out the spark plug and tested the spark at the actual plug, and that's good. And I also did a quick check and sprayed some quick start into the intake with the throttle wide open. And there was no hiccup or anything, not even a stumble. So even though it only has 1,800 miles, I've had one of these with stuck ring before. And for whatever reason, carbon deposit, sitting, that compression ring was stuck on that one particular vehicle. Now I'm checking compression because I already did a quick spark test, fuel check. I pulled the line, made sure there was fuel pressure. Still don't know if the fuel injector is clogged, but besides the fuel, I did a quick check on with spraying the quick start, the ether. The plug was wet when I pulled it out, and so it definitely got through the throttle body, and the throttle body wide open, like I said. So not fuel, not spark. So now I'm going after compression. So these things do have an automatic decompression lever on the cam. So you're not going to see like 180, 200 PSI. You're going to see more around 90 to 120 PSI. So on this one, do another test for you. So I'm gonna hold the throttle wide open, and so we only have about 55, not even 55, just above 50. So something's going on with the compression here. So it's only got 1,800 miles. I don't think it's a valve. So, but I'm gonna take the valve cover off and make sure that there's clearance in between there. But and then after that, I'm just gonna hook up the leak down tester, because this is just a quick check. It's not gonna tell us anything besides it's slow. So I want to know where it's leaking out. Is it the intake? Is it the exhaust? Is it the rings? Call the customer, get verification for the teardown, and then assess it, and then order parts. So first, I have to get it on top dead center. And so if you're not familiar, piston's got to be up top, so the combustion chamber is closed, intake valve, exhaust valve is closed, and so that combustion chamber is sealed. And then we're going to pressurize that chamber and see where our compression is leaking out. So to get it on top dead center, we got to pull this crank lock pin here. And it has a washer on there, and it's got a little tapered tip. And so you take this washer out, and then when you find top dead center, there's no stator nut easily accessible, or timing cover. Nothing on these to move the crank. So I'm gonna put it in the highest gear and then roll it forward and get that crank to move. And I'm gonna have a zip tie in the top, and so I'm gonna watch that, and as soon as that zip tie starts to go back down, then I know that that's the top dead center. And so I'm gonna go back just a tad till it's very top, and I'm gonna look in there and make sure that the groove is in the flywheel in this location, and this bolt should thread in very easily by hand all the way in. And if it goes all the way in without that washer in by hand, nice and easy, then I know I'm in the right spot for that crank to be locked. Actually couldn't get it on the exact top dead center mark where that pin could be, that bolt could be screwed in all the way. So I just had to take the stator cover off. No biggie. 8mm bolts. That's 17 mil on the crank there. So you can see that we got 70 PSI in there right now. My compressor's off, so that's all I've got right now. But that's enough to tell us that it's definitely leaking off the intake. Dumping. Nothing out the crank or the exhaust. So we got a case of the intake valve being stuck open. Benefits to having the valve cover off is we can check to make sure that we're actually on the right stroke. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And yeah, so now I can see that I'm not on the intake valve. I'm not on the intake stroke because my rocker arms have valve clearance on those valves. So I'm gonna check the valve clearance right now and see if it's out of spec, because if it's too far out of spec, then that means that'll tell me that there's something underneath that valve seat holding that valve open. Valve clearance is a little bit loose, but so it's at 0.15 millimeters, but they're both the same, so I highly doubt that something got stuck under both seats. So it's kind of the same theory as if your turn signals, both of them are burnt out, it's probably not the bulb, it's the fuse. Anyways, so I'm guessing something happened to that valve face, either cracked or it's just dirty all the way around it, just a little bit, so I can't tell on the valve clearance. But yeah, something's holding those valves open. I know that. So now it's giving the customer the bad news, and then time for the teardown. So then I can see what actually is going on. Yeah, this is not what you expect to see on your intake side. So it's definitely a lot of carbon down there blocking the sealing face. So yeah, definitely guides and seals. It's the only way that oil can get from up here in this area down here is the guides and the seals. Yeah, it's a lot of gunk. So some of it was getting in the combustion area here, but most of it is just built up on the inside here. But yeah, it's stopping that valve from seating right here in the face. So the oil is coming from all the way up in the intake down into the combustion chamber. So it's not like it's just leaking down through the guides and the seals. The oil is coming in from the intake and going down because the intake's only sucking, so it's only going to go. If it was leaking from the guides and seals, it wouldn't get up here. And so it's got to be the crankcase breather overfilled with oil. It was blowing out into the intake. Or blow by through the piston rings, pressurizing the crankcase and pushing out oil that way.